I got your back. Like, don't worry. I don't think you guys are as bad as what DC people say. Don't worry, Dick Cory shippers. Like, I got you. And then they do stuff like they steal my art pieces and they don't credit my artist or my YouTube channel. And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell? Um, Hi YouTube, I am Popefire, the Starfire goddess. I call myself that because I know everything about Starfire, and it sucks because I can't relate to other Starfire fans because I'll be talking to them and I'll be like, oh, that's wrong. They think that's wrong. And but today I brought my good old pal Deadboi Speedy.
Oh
And
yes.
him and I have very similar views on Dick and Cory. And I think part 3 I'll do with a Dick Barb shipper. I think because that to make it fair. But you have read New Teen Titans, more specifically the New Teen Titans run.
Yes.
Would you say Dick and Cory feels very human?
Oh yes, feels very organic. You
Yeah.
see, you see Cory even tolerating when Dick is going through his usual moods. Like, for instance, throughout, I want to say it was the fifth and sixth volumes. Well, not the fifth and sixth. The fifth and sixth
Yeah, because they
volumes, I
get
believe.
together in volume 4.
Yeah, you see Dick angsting over the fact that he's juggling college with trying to live up to the Batman, and you see him
Right.
taking that out on everybody. Even during that time, she mostly is understanding and patient with him, despite him acting like that.
Yeah, she even helps him and guides him back into where he needs to be. Um and
And then,
that's
of
that's the
course,
thing about the relationship. When you get down into it, it's a relationship about compromise. And
yeah,
that's what makes it feels very human because when you look at Dick and Barbara, there's not a lot of compromise there. They feel very much the same personality wise. And Dick is almost written like almost childlike. He's either written like a romance novel or written with like a childlike wonder, which isn't bad, but it doesn't feel human. It feels like a romance novel.
and it's not consistent with who Dick had been at this point.
It's not. And here's the part that was brought up in the other stream that I didn't get to mention, that I didn't get to talk too often about. Your ship, and I hate talking about shipping. I hate shippers. Now I do ship characters, but I hate the shipping wars because I've met Dick Cory shippers that are just as terrible. I'm dealing with a Dick Cory shipper that's stealing my art for my YouTube channel currently.
Yeah.
Piece of ass, by the way, like an absolute asshole. But I've met a lot of Dick Barb shippers that get angry too. Like, there's people that'll come to my channel and they'll be like, "Oh my god, why do you like Dick Cory? They're so awful." And I'm like, "I'm a Starfire channel. Why are you going to a channel called the Popefire, the Starfire God?" And then leaving comments. I mean, you even see in my avatar, I got Nightwing stuff on my Starfire.
Yes.
Like, what are you expecting?
Yeah, it's the funniest thing. Goes to a
So
Starfire channel, gets mad when they praise Dick
Oh,
and
do you
Starfire.
remember that time when we did that Titan stream and I made comments about Dick and Cory being rushed in that show and saying how in the comics it took them a while?
Oh yes.
And then I had that person just leave this awful comment about how terrible I was because Dick and Barb's was so great. And that's fine. If you like Dick and Babs, it's fine. But
Yeah,
God,
it
why
is.
why go like and that's the problem because I see Dick Cory shippers do this too, right? They'll go to like a Dick Babs thing and then make complaints about it and be like, "Oh my god, Dick is better with Starfire." I just see it happen because I'm a Starfire channel. I see it happen more with
Yeah.
Dick Babs people. Now if it was a Dick Babs channel, I may see it more. I may see more coming from Dick and Cory, but I am biased towards Dick and Cory because that's my favorite couple.
Yep.
Now,
And I was someone who actually started out as someone who liked the whole Robin Batgirl thing. Then
right.
when I started reading the books with Teen Titans, that's when I started gravitating towards Robin and Starfire.
Yeah, because it feels more human. And here's the thing, like Dick and Babs, I mean, there were some hints towards it, but it was mostly just, the writers teasing that Robin was a growing boy. Like, it was never supposed to be taken seriously. And the time when it got popularized was in the cartoon, was in the Batman the Animated Show. This very same cartoon where Barbara cheats on Dick and has a miscarriage with Bruce.
Yep.
I'm sorry, and that's one of the big things that the Dick Barb shippers say is that Starfire's a whore, but at least Starfire never slept with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. That, especially that. Or in other adaptations, quickly gives it up to Bruce on the rooftop.
Oh god. Like, okay, I will admit, I feel bad for Bab shippers, like Bab fans in general for that, because that's disgusting and gross. But
Yeah.
that's the thing though. Like
You
the
can't
whole
call Starfire a whore when there's these depictions
well
of it
that
out
okay,
there.
here's the thing about the Starfire being like this quote unquote slut. That has a lot to do with DC not liking Starfire because of Dick and Babs. Dude,
Exactly.
Starfire's they started writing Starfire as a slut because they either didn't know what to do with her or they didn't like the character. And they didn't like the character because of her relationship with Dick. And ultimately, the relationship she's most famous for has been the one that's held her back the most. Because New 52, they didn't want to deal with Starfire. The Batman writers have always disliked Starfire because they don't, and I quote, this is what a Nightwing writer told me. This is what Chuck Dixon told me. They did not want sci-fi in the Bat family. They were pushing Dick and Barbs just because they were pissed off at Marv Wolfman. Okay, can you imagine being that petty?
Yes, and my brain just froze
Hey guys,
because
hit like on it because I'm gonna get a lot of people hitting dislike because of the shipping wars.
but, but yeah, on top of that, it's like, so sci-fi is bad, but
Yeah.
fantasy and magic is totally good with
No,
Talia al
like
Ghul.
it's the same people that.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's the worst part is that they'll turn around and then go sci-fi is bad, but
yeah.
also Tella and Rash.
Talia al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul in the Lazarus Pit is
Oh
totally
my god,
fine.
it's so awful.
Yeah,
Yeah, Trusty, I'll go watch the stream in a little bit. But here's the worst part, right? Every time Starfire ends up with Dick Grayson, like in an alternate continuity, they either write her so out of character, like they did in New Order, or they kill her, like they did with Kingdom Come. They
oh
never
yeah.
just let her be happy. and and it sucks because essentially this is a couple that should work because this is a couple that's built on compromise. We see it consistently in their relationship. She compromises, he compromises. Yeah, they struggle, but at the end of the day, it ends with a compromise.
Yeah, and they work it
And
out.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like they're one of the most human relationships at DC, and DC doesn't utilize it. And the worst part is Dick has his most human relationship with an alien.
Yeah, I know.
um
That's the
Batman
funny
Beyond
thing
is a good
about it.
comic book, but no, in Batman Beyond, Barbara, it's confirmed that Barbara slept with Bruce Wayne while in a relationship with Dick Grayson. And she's even smug about it. Like she's not even like bothered by the fact that she really hurt Dick's feelings to the point where he didn't even want to be around Bruce anymore. Like she totally messed up that relationship because she slept with Bruce. And it's not ultimately Barbara's fault. I mean, it does fall on Bruce's, but people tend to forget that the whole Dick Barbs thing started because of the cartoon, and the cartoon is wonderful. The cartoon is great. I mean, there's no doubt in that. But that's in this very same cartoon, Barbara cheats on Dick. And here's another thing that really pisses me off. They retcon the ever loving god out of Dick and Cory. Like you remember that comic where he sleeps with Barbara, like right before his wedding with Starfire?
Yes.
No,
Well,
here's the thing. In that right before his wedding, he is desperately trying to keep Starfire in his life because he had just accidentally cheated on her with Mirage. He's not going to go with Barbara, who in New Teen Titans, who in Marv's run he never mentioned.
yep.
Like how many times has he mentioned Barbara in the whole 20 years that Marv Wolfman had him? None. Because
No.
he didn't care about her. Because until the cartoon, she was like his sister. And not even like a close sister, like a deranged sister that you kicked out of the house for being on drugs.
And then on top of that, whenever those two finally got in a relationship, wasn't Babs almost like extremely jealous anytime someone even looked at Dick like they were
Yes!
interested?
No, and here's the thing. They villainized and wrote Starfire just completely out of character in every appearance she has around Barbara. Like, Barbara makes it seem like Starfire's like this terrible person. When in reality, and DC started writing her that way because they wanted to be petty for Dick and Cory, because they didn't. A lot of it had to do with them being mad that Marv had Dick for so long and they wanted them back. But you can actually see, because DC at the time of Dick and Cory's split, DC was kind of hurt because half of the writing staff was like, we like Dick Cory, and then the Batman writers were like, fuck you, Dick's back over here, booyah. And
Cyborg.
yeah, Scott, everybody has a wrench, or Pope Raven will time you out. But no, it sucks though, because there's actually a lot of cool stuff you can do with Dick and Cory's relationship. There's a lot of issues you can work out, and it writes itself. With Dick and Barb's, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Neostar is here. I gotta wrench him. What's
Yeah,
with the
because
Starfire book? No, and here's the thing: Starfire readers, and there's enough of us to buy her products to where we're actually, a decent sized number. But Starfire readers like her with Dick. Barb's readers, you can have a Batgirl book without her being in a relationship with Dick. Starfire's character was made to develop Dick Grayson. She was put in a relationship with him to develop him. She was created for him. So ultimately, to have a character that was created and has become as popular as she has, she's one of the top 10 female characters at DC. To ultimately leave that character without Nightwing is a little ridiculous. Because
yeah,
and you can even say that Nightwing was a reflection of his relationship with Starfire. Because one of the people he thanks is Starfire when he becomes Nightwing. So
yeah,
to sit here and be and I hate talking about shipping. I really hate talking about shipping. But I was asked by a viewer, and I like my viewers, and if somebody wants me to do a topic on Starfire, especially one like this, which actually hurt her character for years,
yeah,
like, yeah, I will talk about this. But um it's so frustrating though, because both of these characters and their most popular persona, well, is Nightwing really more popular than Robin? No, because everybody knows Robin, not everybody knows Nightwing. But
yeah,
all these characters in in their current personas
yeah. Because
were
you literally have to
designed.
say it's
Yeah.
Dick Grayson in order for people to go, "Oh, that's who Nightwing
Oh,
is."
yeah. But yeah, yeah, Scott's. Oh, thank you, Scott. Yeah, somebody actually has been stealing my art and passing it off, and this is another reason why I hate shippers. Shippers always ruin everything.
Yep.
Somebody's stealing my art that I pay money for and then posting it up on Instagram. I'm actually in talks with several higher up Starfire peeps to kind of help me get the word out so I can get credited for it. But yeah, it's actually based off of stuff I wear on streams. But no, it's so ridiculous though, because Barbara doesn't need Nightwing. She didn't really develop him. They didn't develop each other. Even when she's Oracle, she didn't need Nightwing. Starfire was developed with Nightwing, and Nightwing developed with her. So it's ridiculous. Yeah, the art I commissioned. The art I commissioned. Sorry, I'm doing like 3 different things at once. Um, but these characters developed each other. They made each other better characters. She turned him into a man, or helped him get to that stage of life. And a lot of people will argue. A lot of people will argue that like she's the college love, and I don't believe that, because
No.
when you read the comic, there's a lot of true love moments in there. And I hate I would you call it true love? But there's a lot of overprotectiveness where you can, well, I should say there's a lot of moments where you can just feel that they honestly do love each other.
Oh
And
yeah.
with Dick and Barb's, it seems, yeah, Starfire was exclusively made to be with Nightwing. That's why every other relationship she's in, fans don't accept. Fans do not like Starfire with anybody but Nightwing. And there's a reason for that. She was designed to be for Nightwing. And they've even tried to make knockoff versions of Nightwing, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, Red Hood and the Outlaws, they tried to ship her with Roy, and that was disgusting.
Because they didn't even play off their previous history to try to make it believable.
No.
Nope, they just made her give it up to him.
Yeah. Oh, God. But no, Batman writers have had a thing against Starfire. I've got this confirmed from Chuck Dixon. Chuck Dixon even told me, he was like, they don't like Starfire. That was obvious. I mean, you didn't really need a professional to tell you DC didn't like Starfire for a long publication history. The only writer that I really, really trust to have Starfire in their hands is Marv Wolfman, because he can write Starfire. Because that's his character. He created her. He loves this character. Even solo series Starfire doesn't understand her, and that's the problem. Is it seems like they half-ass everything with her character, and it sucks because she was one of the best characters in the 80s.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and then to just crap on her character because her costume was too sexy is just ridiculous. And I've been watching Miraculous Ladybug, and I almost said utterly ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's
But
like
yeah,
Starfire, it's like they ignored the fact that she was created as, supposed to be representative of this sexually liberated alien, kind of part of the hot on the heels of the women's liberation movement. So it's like,
right.
now all of a sudden she's the bane of every feminist's existence.
No, and that's what's so weird. Like, Starfire was created kind of to be a feminist icon, and then, like, she's one of the most dated comic characters for feminists.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing I see is, like, so you'll hear feminists argue about the whole, like, slut shaming and stuff, but then they'll take characters like Starfire and slut shame them.
Yeah. They're like, oh, it's okay to slut shame a character when she's attractive.
Yeah. Well, and here's another thing. Like, I think another thing that really pisses them off is that even though Starfire is really powerful, she's pretty submissive to Dick in the relationship.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing, because she clearly loves him. And that's another thing, is that she's a dominant person, but when she's with Dick Grayson, she's pretty submissive.
I mean, there's times, like, I think there was an issue where, because she was, like, trying to keep Dick out of harm's way, she just was like, nope, shut up. I'm putting you over here. Stay over there. I think there was a time where she did that to keep him out of harm's way one time.
Yeah. I mean, she does have those moments where she tells Dick, you're doing it my way. But for the most part, if Dick tells her something, she does try. And that's one thing I like about Starfire, is she does try. She never just gives up. And and I'm not saying she's like totally submissive to Dick Grayson, because she's not.
No.
But she is willing to give up more in the relationship.
Yeah, and she's not one that's trying to boss him around.
Yeah, she's not like trying to make him do her will for him. Adrienne asked, why won't somebody explain to me who Barbarian Starfire is? Is it the same Starfire, or is it another person called Starfire? What are you talking about? I have no idea what he's talking about.
Because I think there may have been some 1970s character called Starfire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The villain Starfire. She was a villain for Supergirl. She was the second Starfire. I actually have all those issues.
Oh, wow.
She's actually appeared in the She's actually appeared in a few Booster Gold comics. She's actually a pretty cool character, but thankfully she's been overshadowed by the beautiful Coriander. Yeah, Starfire is more open to compromise in the relationship. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't say she's like totally submissive. She's just more open to compromise. And I think a lot of that has to do with her personality, because this is the same character that gave up her life and freedom to save her people. So she's used to making sacrifices. Well, with Dick, he's more breathing and living control. And I think that's a thing, because they counter each other in a perfect way, because she's more about open to emotions and freedom, and he's more closed off and control and trying his best to stay on top of everything. And she's just like, if it happens, it happens. And he's very thankful for that because she kind of kept him from becoming Bruce Wayne, from becoming Batman, from realizing that he doesn't want to be just Batman, he wants to be his own person.
Yeah.
And to sort of write that out of existence, to write the relationship out of existence when it's so important to his character.
Yeah.
And to write it off like she was just some fling is just ridiculous, utterly ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I've been wanting to say that all day.
Yeah. Yeah, and
All
it's
right.
like, you remember the crossover issue where the Outsiders teamed up with the Titans?
Yeah, and
She
she's
was one
worried
of
because Bruce is like being a total asshole to Dick, and she's like, I don't like the way he's talking to him.
Yeah, and then she gave him the confidence to basically tell Bruce, we're doing this, to basically gave him the confidence to go, no, we're doing this my way. I don't care what you think, Bruce. You're listening to me. And so is everyone else.
And it's just, is the new gods Jesus? Is Adrienne? Well, I mean, he was sent to. I don't know. Didn't Starfire have a team up with Adam Strange? Yeah. She ended up sleeping with Animal Man. It was really uncomfortable because I think Animal Man was still married. He was either getting a divorce or married, but it was really uncomfortable, and that's really when people started noticing that DC really didn't like her, and it sucked.
Yeah. Then Red Hood and the Outlaws was like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and
there.
then they use like the animal thing, Animal Man, as like an example as well. She's always been this way, and it's like, no, she hasn't. We'll do Red Hood and the Outlaws because I can talk about that all day and why it's so awful. And again, this all boils down to Batman writers just not liking Dick Cory. Can you imagine being that petty that you're set out to destroy? And you could, I mean, if we really want to point fingers, I'm gonna point it at Devin Grayson. I mean, I don't even have the proof. I just want to point it at her because I hate Devin Grayson. No, and you know what the best part is? I did that video that says how to keep Devin Grayson away, and she blocked me after I posted it. So if you guys want to keep Devin Grayson away, just make a Starfire shrine. All right, guys.
No, it existed.
I guess she Google searches her name because I think that video is still like the top thing you see. No, Rebirth, Red Hood and the Outlaws is some of like the best. Oh, it's not what you see anymore. That's sad. But yeah, she blocked me like instant. It was really funny. I was like, yes, Starfires do keep her away. But yeah, I've been talking to a few DC writers and such, and they've told me like DC just doesn't like her, and they've started changing recently because of the Teen Titans cartoon, which has brought like a whole new level of popularity to her character, as well as her relationship with Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
And I would argue that that's where a lot of the Dick Cory shippers come from now, is from the Teen Titans cartoon, which is a little disheartening because that's a cute couple and stuff, but I want like the comic. I want it back in the comic.
Yeah.
Even if it's an alternate world, and I want it to actually have her in character, because in comics like in New Order, she was completely out of character. And again with Kingdom Come, it's not in Starfire's character to just abandon her children. And it sucks because she's not hard to write. She really isn't. She's actually pretty simple. So it sucks that they deliberately go out of their way to hurt this character in this manner.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I am gonna close it off because I need to go to the bathroom. Thank you guys so much for showing up and hitting that like button because I'm gonna be bombarded in the morning with dislikes. See you guys so much, and thank you, Deadboi Speedy, for coming on here and offering moral support. See you guys later.